Welcome. My name is Melody from the Melody Crochet podcast, and this is episode 41. Welcome, give you a big hug, and thank you for joining me. This is where I come from my home here in Texas to talk to you about my yarn-obsessed life, my crochet, a little bit of knitting, not a lot of knitting. I'm a crocheter that knits, but I love knitting. It's beautiful, and I love yarn in general, and can't imagine not loving any craft that involves it. So welcome. If you have any questions or comments, please leave those down below. I welcome them, I encourage them, I look forward to them, and I always check them. And let's get into it. I finished a sweater. I started a hat. I went to a Fiber Fest. I can't wait to share. And the last week I have been nursing men back to health from the flu, and ew, this is coffee because I need it. Somehow I have been blessed to have so much yuck around me and not catch the flu. My doctor even kind of giggled a little bit and gave me a prescription for Tamiflu. He's like, let's be ready, because he's a positive guy. He wouldn't flat out say you're gonna get the flu crazy, but I didn't get it somehow. I don't know, I'm just blessed. Maybe yarn has some magical antiviral properties in it, but if you hide yourself in enough of it, you're impermeable to disease. I'm going with it because it's a great excuse to buy more yarn. So happy to be here and so much to talk about. I made a sweater, and before we talk about it, I am wearing it. I was looking for kind of a Lisa Frank rainbow kind of a situation. I was at Joann's. As most of you know, if you watch my back podcast episodes, I had to put my yarn in storage, so everything is away, so everything is fresh and new and crisp, and I'm there at Joann's, and they had the Red Heart Super Saver section, and gosh, those colors looked pretty. So I'm like, I can make a rainbow, because all over the world right now, if I go anywhere, be it online or in person, I was in Macy's the other day, and there's a rainbow cardigan, and it's kind of like goes down to mid-thigh length. I love that. And I needed one, so I spent probably about half an hour, because my 9-year-old son is an angel and let me do that without freaking out too much, and just putting different rainbows together. And they were having over at Joann's, probably not on anymore, buy 3 get 1 free, so I was getting 8. We all knew that. I wasn't going to stop at 4. Once you hit 5, you gotta do more so you can get the 8, right? So I think I paid about $21 for the sweater, which, in all honesty, you could probably buy one of these cardigans for $21, but that's not the point. People have brought this up to me several times. It's a lot of work. I didn't work from a pattern. I made it up as I went along, and I worked from a cardigan that I already had, this one. Boop, 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 boop. It's an old cardigan. I've had it forever. I love it very much. Don't love the color, but I just like the way it hangs and fits. And I just used it as I went along and measured. And that was pretty much it. So I'll show you more to do with that. It has the long sleeves. What that cardigan doesn't have is a thumb hole. So I went ahead and I made thumb holes, because I love thumb holes in a sweater. I made a couple decisions that if I make another sweater, I might change. I figured I would really dislike the bulk under the arm of making a sweater really easy and like poncho-like that just hangs, and then making a tube sleeve straight out. Honestly, the way I like my sweaters, I think I like that better. I don't know, it just gives you a whole lot more room without lifting the whole sweater up when you lift up your arms, because I'm constantly hoisting and lifting and such. So there might be a 2.0. But let's look at the colors, shall we? I think I discussed them with you last time. This is my leftovers, and there's a lot of them. This is the purple, and this was medium purple. All Red Heart Super Saver. This is the blue. Oh, turquoise. It looks so different in the lights that I record by. This looks so not turquoise in my face, but it looks exactly like you're seeing it. Minty, because minty is probably my favorite and the softest Red Heart Super Saver that you can purchase, in my opinion. But all of these are actually quite soft, except, where are you? Light Periwinkle. Not the softest, and it's one of the Red Heart Super Savers that are just a little bit bulkier, and it caused this sweater to hang just a little bit differently. Every time I hit this color in a sleeve or the body, I was like, meh, but I really wanted that. First I was going for a pastel rainbow, and then I went what I call Lisa Frank rainbow. So I needed the periwinkle. I love periwinkle, but as far as the texture of the yarn in Red Heart Super Saver, definitely my least favorite of the ones you're seeing here. And this one is, I want to call it hot pink, but I think I might be wrong. Light periwinkle. I have all of the papers in my basket here. It lived in here while I was making it. It took me about 3 days to crochet it because I had to pull some stuff out, especially the sleeves. Let's see. Light periwinkle, medium purple, shocking pink. There she is. And it is a really soft yarn. It is a little bulkier than the minty, but both just as soft and wonderful. And I was really happy to have it in the most visible portion of the sweater, because you have to remember when you're making something what's going to be right by your face. If you're making something where you're having a shirt between you and it, like literally a shirt between you and it, then it's less important. But if it's going to be on your skin right up against your face, it's going to play with your colors. So like I couldn't do a bright yellow by my face, maybe a softer yellow. I'm okay with pastels, but a lot of colors bring the olive out of me and I just turn massively green. I had another color though, lemon. So that is at the bottom, I'll show you in a second. And that is all the colors that I used. I also grabbed some of the baby colors. You can kind of see them peeking out over there. I got lavender, baby blue, and baby girl pink. I think they call it baby girl pink. It might just be baby pink now. But I used my J-hook. And I went with my tulip and made everything slide so beautifully. I cannot recommend them more. I used a whole lot of my scissors and my measuring tape. And I will say, even though I measured several times, it didn't work out well, because somehow when you chain, you just get added bulk. You really want to make a nice big swatch when you're making a wearable. It is bigger in back than I would have liked. I wanted it to be 20 inches in the back, and I chained, I swatched. It was a really quick swatch though, probably about that big. I should have done more. Maybe just longer would have been necessary, not necessarily wider, because it really, really bloomed. And it ended up being 26 inches in back. So I just compensated by making my front panels a little bit smaller. Really just using fewer stitches. I went ahead and used my back portion as a massive swatch and then measured from there to make sure I matched exactly the front panel of my sweater. And up front, I'm really, really happy. I did get to my sleeve portion though, and I knew that I don't want to just come down. So I had 3 inches up top measured. So I stopped back here making the sweater, and I made the front panel 3 inches longer and did 3 inches more of the hot pink so that it would fall, and then I'd have the same amount of pink in front, because the sweater on my shoulder wouldn't be taking any inches away from the length. And when I made my sleeve, I knew I wanted to do kind of a cap sleeve, and I did. But I didn't realize how making that angular and just having a flat 3 inches on the top before I made the angle come down would affect my sweater. I made it and it was just boop, 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 like a coffin, which is fine. It fit, and then I put it together, and my older son was here and he said it looked like something Prince would wear. Not normally a bad thing, but I don't need shoulder pads. You might notice these puppies go straight out. So when it was like that, I have my thumb thing right there. so it's giving me extra length. It was like oh my gosh, we laughed so hard. And then I was like, oh, okay, we've laughed now. What am I going to do? So I went ahead and I just cut it all out, which was a mess because I had already weaved in ends. Poor choices. I never weave in ends until after I wash something, but I was so excited and I didn't want it to look too messy, so I'd weaved in the shoulder ends from where I sewed it together. Ugh. So I got it and I took it all out. I have one little, yeah, right there. Ugh, isn't it sad? Maybe I'll go in someday and fix that, but odds are no, I don't mind it that much. But it did definitely come out right there, which I'm really lucky because I put both sleeves on before making the choice to take them off. So I took it out and I just went ahead and it's about 3 stitches and then I came straight down and couldn't be happier with it. So mathematically, it wouldn't work on paper. It shouldn't work. It's far too strong of an angle considering compared to the number from my prototype, but looks a lot better because I don't need shoulder pads. It's still, if anything, because I like it when they drape a bit, it still has a little bit more body in the shoulder than I would like. But I think in the future, I'm just going to go and do the simplest form of putting a sweater together. Crochet sweaters just work that way because there's so much stretch in the stitches, but you still sometimes want to do something a little bit more fitted like I did this time. But I think I would have liked it better if I went one size hook up and just made a panel and a front, just straight rectangles, sewed up the side, and made tubes coming out, if I'm perfectly honest. So I hope that makes sense. Now that being said, let me show you. I love it. I know I'll be making more sweaters, not right now. I know 3 days seems fast, but I crochet a lot and that was a lot of hours to put in to something. So I'm definitely looking forward to something different now. And my next project for the next week will be baby stuff, just fun baby things to throw into a baby shower package for a friend of Amber. So excited to make baby stuff. There's nothing better. I saw a Viking hat crocheted on a baby on the front of a package of diapers at Kroger the other day, and I'm like, oh, baby needs a Viking hat. We're making a baby Viking hat. I've been setting aside patterns, and oh, I want to make some sweaters. I want to make some baby dresses. I want to make some baby hats. I want to make some baby booties. Oh, I could probably use a lot of my leftovers too, because I have a ton. I probably used maybe half of the yarn. Plus I have the ones that I didn't use in the baby colors. And I picked up some other things that I'll be sharing along the way. Mostly, I don't like to be too baby, so let me show you. Ooh. Will that not make the prettiest little girl baby dress ever? It's Mandala Baby in Honeydukes. And it needs to be a baby dress, in my humble but biased opinion. It even has a little speckle on the yellow. Oh my stars. I can't wait to see it. I know I want the the pink to be by the baby. What do you think? What should be up top? Opinions, please leave that down below. Babies are kind of pink. Maybe I shouldn't have pink right by up top. We shall see. And I'll probably go for about a 6-month size. She's going to be born in July. It's hot here in Texas, but you don't really take a baby out too much that time of year regardless of age. So that is a different haul of things that I will be reviewing in the next week. And the mandala is just for comparison because I've already talked about mandala with you guys. Works in progress. It's in its bag. My Sockhead has started, but I'm using my Indonesia from Malabrigo. So this is Malabrigo sock. and I'm doing a sock head. So this is my purse project for the moment. Would you just look at that? It is incredible. Oh my gosh. Look at those little speckles of color. It's going to be my favorite hat ever. I just know it. I'm using my size 3 16-inch Knitter's Pride Zings. And I got this beautiful handmade charm from a friend at Christmas. Isn't that the prettiest charm? Handmade from a friend at Christmas. Cutest little owl ever. Matches beautifully. This is going to take me forever. This is going to take me a while, and I'm so okay with that. I talked about it last time, I know. But I've just gotten through the ribbing. I've been working on it probably for about 4 days. As long as the sweater. You know, you can have the rim of a hat or a sweater. But easy to take everywhere. I just keep it in its happy little bag, and everywhere I go it can be there in case there's a line, because I have no patience for a line. Let's talk Fiber Fest. That's it for me. That's all I'm making right now. DFW Fiber Fest. My son getting married, having a birthday in Indiana. It's okay. I wouldn't be half surprised though if you find me in Indiana sometime in June. Are there any good yarn stores in Indiana? Do you guys live there? Back to Fiber Fest. And then with my son, I went on Saturday, which was my shopping day for the most part. I'm gonna move my coffee because I don't want to dunk anything. There we go. Got the brochure. Ooh. They were advertising stitches. I miss stitches. They don't have it here in Texas. They had it for a little bit. I don't think it was very popular. It was really close to DFW Fiber Fest and looked way too much like DFW Fiber Fest. It was in the same place and everything. Part of me wants to go when it's in California. It looks like so much fun. I know it's bigger other places, but California is home, and oh, it's so amazing there. So, I don't mean amazing in California. I mean their stitches there is just so amazing. And just traveling around, they have some great boutique yarn stores. So, 14th annual DFW Fiber Fest. I go. And the first thing I saw, Shay. I needed Shay for many, many reasons. Hey Shay, have you ever? They had a blonde one, and I'm like, no, I need a brunette one. So dark hair, she's crocheting, Shay, yeah, and she's in a polka dot dress. It's me. It's me on a little dangly. Look at her. I don't know what I'm gonna put her on because I want her on everything. For now, I'm not going to put her on my key, so I could hang her in the car, then I could see her all the time. But she makes me so happy. I had to have her. I got her over at West 7th Wool. I got this raccoon pom-pom. Have you ever? It's magical. After I got this, I just ran around looking for things that match this. So it's one of the pom-poms where the bottom comes off, so you can detach it for when you're cleaning it, and you can have it on more than one hat. So all you have to do is have a little hole at the top of your hat, and you could put this in. It's just a snap. Brilliant. So brilliant. I want to make them myself. But she is beautiful. She's like a mythical creature. Look at the little black wisps from the raccoon tail. If you are a fur hater, I am so sorry. I too dislike fur. Oh my gosh. Moment of weakness. Then you have to have something that matches it, right? So I'm over in Suburban Stitchers. She has a podcast too. Very cool. She was over there. And this was it. This matched my pom-pom. Isn't that beautiful? And I thought this would be fingering weight, but it's not. It is actually sport weight. She just calls it her sport. The color weight is Mascarade. It's going to be crocheted, of course. I'm knitting the other hat. I'm not nuts. That hat's going to take me forever. I'd like to wear this sometime soon. Sport weight, 100% merino superwash, 328 yards, which is generous for a sport weight, don't you think? I think it's going to be thinner than I'm thinking. And it's called Mascarade. I could definitely do like a crocheted sock head, like back and forth rib. Easy peasy. And it smells like dye. Some of them don't. I think it's Madeline Tosh that smells way like dye. I love the smell of dye. I've done a lot of acid dyeing myself, but oh, that smells so good. And then I was good. I was fine. I was satisfied. I got a pom-pom and some yarn, right? But no, that wasn't good enough. Well, it was good enough until I saw Mrs. Babs, because I've never seen Mrs. Babs. Mrs. Babs has been like fictitious unicorn superhero yarn. I've only seen it from a distance. And then there it was, a booth full of it. My son's like, Mom, you cannot spend $50 on that. That is just silly. And I'm like, you're right, that is silly. But we're probably going to go spend $50 on it. So I think this was like $48, which is too much. But it's this massive DK, and I've wanted one for so long. So I had to have it. This is called Wolf's Den, and it's magical. I'm going to be making a shawl out of it, just a crocheted shawl, something asymmetrical that's really easy peasy back and forth. I'll let you guys know. But that brown right there with all the copperiness and the silvery gray, that's not black, it's silver. It's everything. It's absolutely everything, and I need it on my neck. It's really, really soft. It's so squishy though. It has so much bounce to it. I'm in love. And normally I wouldn't spend this much on it, but I think we have like one yarn show. My only other yarn time is the yarn crawl. I won't do 2 yarn crawls because they're both in August. So I do the yarn crawl, I splurge at the DFW Fiber Fest. That's about it. Unless we end up having an odd affair. But you know who was not over at the DFW Fiber Fest? Was from Farmersville. I think she's called Yarn Joy now, but Fiber Circle. But she did go. She's really nice. I've been in there chatting, but I had to go over to Farmersville at the yarn shop because they weren't there. It would have been wrong not to go. Where's your loyalty, I say? I didn't get much, but this, for $2.50, they have the best, just the best yarn needles. Oh, I don't know how they do that because I have to pay a lot more for that usually. So I got a tube of yarn needles, and then Findlay. Oh, Findlay. Oh, Findlay. I wish you could touch this because it is half silk, half wool, merino wool. And it's just, you can see the sheen. I know you can. But it's just as soft as it looks. This is lace weight. Yes, I'm crazy. But you gotta remember, I've mentioned the getting married several times. I'm in this wedding shawl place. So lace weight, which never ever ever is appealing to me, is all of a sudden kind of appealing. I just think it's beautiful. And I'm really excited to use it. So after this, I'm probably going to be breaking into this. Who knows, it could replace my purse project. This poor Sockhead hat, it may never get finished. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But this definitely is taking precedence. And oh, it was $20. But half silk, half wool, and 798 yards of yarn. So 100 grams, and that color, the color is called 27, as it were. But just one more time, I had a car this color when I was about 20. I love purple. That's it for me. What else do I have going on this week? Baby stuff. Leave your baby stuff. Please link it down below. Let me know what you like to make for baby gifts. I'm not in blanket mode. Amber's making her blankets, but I do need to make sweaters and dresses and hats and all the fun stuff because I don't know anybody else who's having babies. So this is like, yay, baby! And she likes a couple of cartoons and anime. Hopefully I'll get some ideas from those. Should be a really good week. But that's it from me. If you have any questions or comments, once again, please leave those down below. I love to read through them. If you have any suggestions of things you'd like to see me purchase, review, use, swatch, I would love to hear that also. I do that on this channel too. I have a little something that I'm going to be making a video of making very soon. I hope you'll enjoy. That's going to keep me more than busy for the week. I'll see you tomorrow with a little review that I've already worked up. I had to get the editing done, but we are reviewing Lion Brand's Feels Like Butter. And I gotta tell you, just a little sneak peek, I love it. I love it. If you're on the fence, I can't wait to share it with you. So, see you tomorrow. Take good care. Bye-bye. A lot of ready-made patterns. I just think they're a little pricey. How creepy was that?